hosting a live event, whether it's in person or a webinar, is a great way to just attract people to your business. Whether you're selling a product or service, it's a great way to just get introduced to people. And so I've done this in the past. I've done one that's virtual, over 100 people showed up. And I've also done one live where, 50, 60 people showed up. And I'm going to show you the tools, the setup, how I did it, and kind of just bring you behind the scenes of how you could do this too in your business. So within JTech, we're going to click Sites on the left-hand side. Then we're going to go into Forms, and we're just going to create a brand new form from scratch. So let's go Add Form. Let's build one from scratch. All right, so once the form loads up, the first thing you want to do is just rename the form to whatever event you're going to be having. So do me a favor. Don't name your event live event or webinar. Get a little more creative with your event. In the event title, put something like what you're going to do, like how to use AI, or it could even be, go deeper in the title. Go like how to use AI in 2026. It makes it a little more relevant. It makes it a little more like, oh, this is the new way of how to do this certain thing. So get a little creative with your titles here. Then below in this form, this is all the information that you're going to capture. Some of this stuff I don't really like, although it's, leave it to be compliant. I'm telling you not to delete this, but I personally like to just delete that. I also like to delete this. If you just click on the section, you just click the little delete box, and then so far we have first name, last name, phone, email. Let's say you want to ask a question. So on this left-hand side, you have all these elements. So let's scroll down on the elements, and you can pick and choose whatever you want. But for this example, let's say you want to do a checkbox. You want people to check things off. So basically what I'm doing is I just got the element, and I'm just going to drag and drop it. And we're going to drop that into the form. And here's the actual element. We can edit this. So let's say the question that I want to ask is, do you have a computer? Let's just say that that's a question that I want to ask. So it changes the question here. And then on this right-hand side over here, you have options. So you see how you have one, two, three, option 1, 2, 3. So let's just change this. Let's say yes, no, I can get one. I will say that the less information you capture up front, the more people will sign up. It's the least path of resistance. So try to keep this as minimal as possible. Let's say, you want to go in here, you want to continue to edit it. This, I don't know, by default says button. I think that's stupid. Let's change that to say submit. And then let's pick a theme for the button. I like this black button. That's fine. You can spend some time in here customizing this exactly how you want to. But if you really wanted to customize this, just use this right-hand side to really take the time to organize this. If you click this little styles and options button up here, this goes deep into the settings of this form, and you can change whatever you want to change. You can change the color, you can change this, you can change that. I'll leave that here for you. That way you can play with it in the future. So our form is done. Now we're just going to put this form on a landing page. So let's go back. And next thing, we're going to click on funnels up here. So you have a couple of different ways of creating a landing page. So you can go into new funnel, and you can go from scratch, you can build with AI, or you can choose a template. So let me just show you the option of picking a template. Once you see all these templates, what you can do is you can search for a specific template. Let's say you're doing a webinar, and you get all of these examples that you can use. You can preview them by just clicking on preview, and it'll give you kind of an idea of how the web page would look. So this is the template for elementary smart funnel. Let's say this business coach webinar one. This is the example for the business coach webinar. And essentially what you would do is you would just change the text, change the images. This is a calendar. You can change the calendar to an actual form, the one that we made. And you can use this as a template, or you can just build one from scratch. So let's go back. Let's close out of the templates. Let's try building one with AI. So I'm just clicking on the button, build with AI. It's loading a brand new page for me. On the left-hand side, it's asking me a couple of questions. The name of the funnel page. Let's go how to use AI in 2026. Business niche. Let's say I'm in real estate. Goal of this funnel page. Let's go webinar. Select targeted audiences. Let's go professionals. What are you offering? Free consultation, discount, free trial, ebook, course, subscription. Let's go subscription. So See how by me changing this on the left-hand side, it's building sort of a prompt for me? If you wanted to, you can just create your own prompt. You know, if you're savvy with AI already, you can change this. But so the prompt that it created, creating a landing page for real estate webinar titled How to Use AI in 2026, targeting professionals. The goal is to promote a subscription offering. Now, what you could do is you could just add to this prompt and make it a little more custom to what exactly your brain is thinking about for your landing page. So you can go make the landing page minimal, easy to read, bold text. I want you to use a black background and use white text with blue accents. Let's see what it can do with that instruction. So let's just click generate. So on the left-hand side, it's starting to think for me. This process usually takes a couple of minutes, so let's just be patient. I'm going to skip over this. And you can see it's still working on the left-hand side. All right, this is what it came up with. It followed the black background, white text, and blue accent, which is really cool. And ultimately, what you just have to do now is just pop in that form that we created in the beginning. So the way to pop in that form, of course, once you have all of this organized and exactly how you want, this is how you just pop in the form. It's really easy. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this plus on the left-hand side, and these are all the different elements we can add, and we're going to add a form. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm just going to drag it and drop it. You know, you can pick wherever it is that you want. Let's say right there is where I want. Then it asks you to pick a form. So let's look for that form that we generated. So it's right here, how to use AI in 2026. And boom, we just popped in the form on the landing page. Now, I do want to give you a couple of examples on different landing pages that you can do. And I'll show you some examples of ones that I've used in the past too. So jtech.pro/AI webinar is an example. So as you can tell, I keep these very basic, very simple, easy for people to understand what it is exactly they're getting into. And, you know, your creativity is going to be your limitation around here. So this is just an example. I made the form very easy, just first name, last name, email, phone, talked a little bit about me and the form again. So, you know, take the time, edit this exactly how you want. And the way that you would edit this is you just, you know, click on each section that you want. Maybe if there's text that you don't want in the actual section right here, you just, it's plug and play. If you're familiar with Canva, this is going to be very easy for you. Just take the time to organize this. And once you're happy with this and you get it to a point where, you know, this will work, then all we have to do is just save it. And now here's an important step. So this link is live. It's app.jtech.pro/v2. This is a horrible link. What I would recommend is using your domain to promote the webinar. So we're going to click domain. This little window pops up and we're going to select a domain. I'm going to say, for example, let's use jesseonate.com. Let's go to save. And now this is now live. So it says jesseonate.com/untitled page. Let's publish this for now. I'm going to show you how to change that untitled page. And before I show you how to change this, over here on this left-hand side, this SEO metadata, this is how it will look when you text it to people. So if you click content on this left-hand side, this is the actual title of what it will show. And AI kind of already pre-generated it for us. And then if you scroll down, social image, this is the actual image that'll come out when you text it to people and it shows a preview. So let's say I am going to put a horizontal one. Let's say this one. I'm just going to use this as an example. Yeah, this looks better. And by the way, I created this image on Canva. So if you were to go over here to Canva, in this example, what I did is I just searched up YouTube thumbnail. And it gives you the exact same layout as what kind of like a text layout would give you. So, you know, you just go through these, edit whatever picture you want, and don't overcomplicate this. You know, just put a picture of yourself, put a picture of, you know, an AI. Just grab something on Google and you can just slap that on there. So once you have a picture, once you figure out the text and all this stuff, just hit update SEO, and then let's hit publish. Next, I'm gonna show you how to change this right here. So let's hit back, and here's our page right here. So here's the actual web page. It's untitled. So let's title this. Let's go into the settings right here and let's go how to use AI in 2026. And then here's the actual slug is what it's called, the step URL. So let's go with something easy. Let's go AI 2026. So how this will read is it'll say the domain name that I chose, jesseonate.com/AI 2026. That way it's familiar when people click on it, and it sort of like adds a level of professionalism. And there you go. It changed the URL for me. All right, so we made the form. We put the form on a landing page. Next up, let's create the automation. So when people do fill out the form, they'll be able to get text reminders and email reminders. So next thing up, we're going to click automation on the left-hand side over here. And let's go into create workflow, and let's go select the template. And these are all the bunch of templates that you can choose from. We're going to scroll down just a little bit here. And I am looking for one that says webinar. You can use this for live events too. And just stay with me. I'll show you how to change that. So let's go choose template. When you hit choose template, it adds it to your account. And here it is. So what I like to do first is I like to just change this, how to use AI in 2026. So you would change it to whatever you want to name your event. Delete this one here. And let's keep this form submitted one. And here it is. How to use AI in 2026. So basically what we're telling the system is whenever someone fills out that form, I want you, system, to follow this progress. This is an automation. This is really easy. So stay with me. Add registration tag. So the default one says webinar registration. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go how to use AI 2026. So I'm making this a custom tag. So that way when people sign up, I can kind of filter them out in the contacts list and I can see everyone that has signed up for this. So let's just save action. This next one, set webinar event date. So this is when you would actually set the event date. So by default, it's in 2022. Let's go fast forward a little bit. And let's just say I'm going to host this event on Valentine's Day, February 14th. You can change the time down here. Let's go 2 p.m. That is awful. I don't even think people would show up. I'm just going to change the date as an example. Let's go the Friday. And there you go. You set the event date. So let's hit save action. And now everything below it will keep this event date as a start. So stay with me. Check this out. So the first thing is in this template, it has send them an email. What you can also do is you can have it send a text message immediately. So these little plus signs in between each action, you can click on them and then you can add whatever action you want to add. And you can really like customize this how you want to customize it. So let's say send SMS. Hey, you took the next step. So this is the first text that'll get sent to the lead. As you can see, I'm adding my personality. I'm adding the flavor to how I communicate. Now, I would probably edit this a little bit to get it to exactly how I want. But yeah, let's say you wanted to add this. As soon as someone fills out the form, you just hit save. And see how it added it right there? So the way that this automation works is it works with time, steps just go down. So starts up here, then it goes down. And by the way, this is the standard builder. There's also an advanced builder, which is pretty much the same thing. Instead of it going from top to bottom, it just goes left to right. So you can do it this route too. And yeah, you know, registration form filled out, then it goes to SMS, it adds a tag to them, it sets the event date, then it sends them a confirmation email. And this is the confirmation email. Change all of this stuff so that way, you know, like instead of your name being your agency, you would, you know, put in your name. Then over here, put in your email. Then it asks you to change it tells you this is the subject. You know, you can leave it. It's not bad. Your registered contact first name. Then it says, hey, thanks for registering for our insert webinar event. So you would change this to whatever event you're trying to do. And it sort of gives you a template on what to do. So thanks for registering for how to use AI in 2026. We'll see you, blah, blah, blah. You know, you'd put the event date here. So I think I put February 13th at 2 p.m. And then so this says insert webinar stream link. So I typically share my, when I'm doing a webinar or a virtual event, I usually just share my Zoom personal link. If this was a live event, then I would share the address of where I want people to show up. So you would put the address, or you'd put whatever link you want them to show up at. So in this case, go on to, let's say, Zoom, for example. All right, so once you're logged into Zoom, you're just going to go over here to settings. Let's go into meetings, personal room, and this is the link, invite link that you're going to use. So you just copy that, and then you'd go back over here to JTech, and then boom, you would paste that in the actual email. And then, so I highly recommend spending some time to organize this. So, you would add your signature, customize your signature however the heck you want to. I like doing this, tracking your clicks. And let's go save action. And what you would just continue doing is editing this exactly how you want. So if you wanted to add more wait steps, like maybe this is 2 weeks ahead in time, what you can do is, this one as the example has 1 day ahead. So you can add another wait stop. So let's hit this little plus sign. Let's get this wait stop. If it's not here for you, just type out wait, hit select. And what we're going to change this is going to be for an event/appointment type. So that way it looks exactly like this one that I just showed you. So maybe you want to do 4 days before the event, or a week before the event, 7 days. So let's go boom. And then in between here, let's do another text. See you in 7 days. And then you can slowly begin to work your automation exactly how you want to. So, the way you would change these, the name of these, so see how this one says wait until 24 hours before, and this one just says wait. You just click on the one that you want to change, and it's the action name. So if you change wait to 7 days before, so that way it matches how many days before, then it makes it a little more easier on the eye. As you're building this out, then you can kind of, make it a little bit easier to build this. So this is kind of the final step in this. Once you have this kind of locked and loaded, you would go from you'd go from draft to publish, then you hit save, and you're pretty much ready to rock and roll. The next thing is to just promote this. You can text this to people, you can call people, you can do an Instagram video to promote this. You can do flyers. There's so many ways of promoting people to your event or your webinar. The sky's the limit. I hope this video was really helpful. I hope you crush it in launching your first event. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.